Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So this is my review recap for Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 2, Episode 9, y'all. Antitrust. Let me tell y'all, baby, we almost at the finish line. This is episode 9. We pulling up fast. Things is going down, all right? I'm a hustler, baby. Get money, make money, take money. Hey, all right, y'all. It's about to go down. So we got Sam out here talking about you can find him in the crack spot, okay, smoke spot, mop spot. He's all around the world. Wherever you want him, you can find him. We got Marvin trying to be a better dad. Howard up there trying to be a better dad too. We gonna see what it's gonna do, y'all. Rock is out here just still being Rock, trying to make power plays, trying to get things in order because, they got her all the way messed up. And Lou said, y'all don't forgot about me and how I get down. Let me remind y'all, okay? Unique is a straight up G. He not folding. I don't care. He holding it down, all right? And while we at it, not only is he not a snitch, not only is he a real one, not only, what I'm saying, do he dress his behind off and, look good enough to eat. I'm just saying, man, if he says say bone, okay, you can come on over to my place if you want to, Unique, okay? But get into this story, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this episode. We got these freaking, Italians out here thinking shit is sweet. They over here, playing pool and, just saying how they always want to talk crap and, somebody's always losing and they like, we could do double or nothing, what I'm saying, next week, having a funky good time. And of course, we're going to get, grown Kanan narrating as usual and letting us know that when you're in this street life and you're living these type of lives, right, and doing the things that these mobsters is doing, they know that it could be any time, could be their time, right? They always know that shit is done or whatever, right? So they have fun when they can because they know at any moment they could turn around and there's going to be somebody, behind them. If you a hitter, you're going to get hit. And at the same time that he says that, we got Lou pulling up talking about, yo, and he trying to tell Lou, like, you ain't got to do this, okay? Really? And Lou was like, yeah, I do. Okay? And he walked away. So I was like, okay, Lou, we see you. So now, it says, you're going to get it one way or another, right? And streets and shooters is always going to, like, outlive you. And so now we get, to the pastor preaching. We see this casket. I said, no, I know it ain't Lou. I know it ain't Marvin, I should say, right? And no, it is not. It is poor Renee, okay? Rest in peace, sister. Rest in peace. You was a real one. You was a good one. You tried to bring Marvin to where he needed to be. And unfortunately, you got caught in the crossroads. So let's have a moment of silence, for Renee. And Marvin is there paying his respects. And you got people around, probably her friends and family that's just crying and he trying to hold it together. He got his daggone shades on and, he's shedding a little thug tear. He's shedding a little thug tear. And I said, damn, he ain't even get to take her to bed, okay? Take her to bed. Like, damn, y'all couldn't let Marvin get none. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be thinking about that, but I thought we was at least going to see them, make it to the bed. But unfortunately, nope. Renee is dead. And so, we get Sam out here pissing by this daggone tree. They coming over to him, messing with him, okay, crackhead Sam, and he's saying that they violating his privacy. This is harassment. They need to leave him the hell alone. He was like, yo, you pissing in a public park. What the hell you mean, privacy? He over here talking about, I bet Clarence Thomas done did this and much more, okay? And so when they checking him, of course, they asking him, do he got any needles and stuff like that on him? And they say that he was over here shoplifting and stuff like that. And then they, of course, find some drugs on him. So they like, yeah, you pay for this too. And they was like, okay, we going to have to go ahead and take you in for this. And so he's over here like, listen, I got some shit I know. I got some shit I could tell y'all, right? And you know what I'm saying? This could be real helpful to y'all, make y'all some heroes out here in these streets, And he's like, I'm willing to spill the beans. And so he basically was saying that he know who shot that detective. And they was like, let me guess, it was Jimmy Hoffa. Because remember, before he was out here saying all different kind of crazy stuff because he was hired up. But he's like, nah, seriously, man, you know what I'm saying? I know the deal, but they not paying him no mind. They put him in the squad car to go ahead and take him down, and book him. And so now we see Famous and Kanan at his spot, and the landlord is banging on this door. He telling Famous, you ain't got that rent money. I can't keep holding up stuff for you. I need the rent now. Else you got to get the hell out. Famous telling him he going to figure something out. And he was like, well, you must be going to figure it out today. So he was like, can I get a payment plan or something? He was like, payment plans is for people that actually been paying something. Your ass ain't been paying shit. So he was like, well, what if I could get you that studio time? He was like, I doubt very much you going to be getting me that. They just fished out damn, Crown Camacho out that damn, lake or whatever the case may be, right? And so he was like, if you could do that, which I find really hard to believe, then maybe we could work something out. It's supposed to be studio time for him and his girl. But he was like, look at you, man, and look the way you living. You got 2 days and then you got to get your ass out. So at this point, Famous is super stressed, and he asking Kanan, like, do you think Luke can help me out? He was like, yo, I don't know about all of that, you know what I'm saying? And then he was like, why would he do that? And he was like, man, I'm really screwed. And Kanan was like, you are. And so, of course, he going and he's sitting down and, just feeling depressed about this, right? But Famous, you should have been on top of this, and you should have never been just sitting here counting on no damn crown to, have this place for you either. So now, moving on along, congratulations to Rocka, right? She got her dream home. We got the lady out here giving her keys. She telling her the place is all hers. She's going to be happy here. This is a beautiful house, okay? But Rock, baby, you got the house and you ain't got no people to put up in there, okay? Who is coming to this house to live with you? Maybe Juke? Because Kanan sure as hell don't look like he still want to come back home anytime soon. She got this big smile on her face or whatever, right? And then the lady notices, of course, that is one of the Rock guys standing over on the side, and Rock had to be like, that's my cousin. He wanted to come and see the house too. And so, he wanted to get a look at the house, and she was like, well, I'm sure you're going to make, a whole bunch of happy memories here. But you know how they be looking like, oh, Lord, now we're going to be getting a whole bunch of these black folks over here, right? And so, nonetheless, she go ahead and just taking it in and smiling at it, right? Feeling like she did accomplish one of the things that she wanted to get. So now we get to the Italians, right? Sal and them is over here playing, poker, and they having their conversation, and they saying, this can't go down. Rock is getting a little too crazy. She's doing too many things. She can't be out here in the streets thinking she could do whatever the hell she want to do. What are we going to do? How are we going to make sure that this is not, going down like that? Of course, Sal is saying, look, there's no way she could go to toe-to-toe with us. So he's not as worried as far as really feeling like Rock got that power where she could take him out. But they were like basically saying she's disrespecting us when she's over here setting up shop in our own backyard. She cannot go untouched for basically, having all of this stuff going down. He's like, you over here saying she ain't got no control, but she told us that she wouldn't give up her brother for Marco. And so in my opinion, it seems like she's been going toe-to-toe with you all along. And he said, well, listen, we can't just go tiptoeing around Queens checking out things, with our friend that we got there in the fish store at Howard Beach first. You know what I'm saying? That cocksucker basically always wants something in return. So, homeboy is telling Sal, like, yo, she killed Jimmy and that can't go unanswered. He's like, of course it can't go unanswered. You think you telling me something I don't know? First of all, I grew up with him stealing bikes, outside of St. Lucy's. I held his daughter in my damn arms at her baptism, for Christ's sake. She's gonna answer for what she did or whatever the case may be. But there are politics involved, right? We can't just go busting everything down in Queens, right? Before we do anything else, we gotta figure out what exactly we are up to. We can't just be, running through any damn doors. without knowing what's on the other side. And so, he says, get me Unique. And so now he wants to get Unique to see if Unique will be able to give him any breakdown of what's going on. Now, in the meantime, Sam is still like, yo, I got some info from y'all. Y'all not listening to me, all right? It should be something that y'all should be able to do for me where I ain't got to sit in here, and be in no damn jail cell. If I'm telling y'all that I know who shot this, cop. So, of course, who comes along, all right? None other than Dan Burke ass, all right? Burke is always lurking and she's always Burking. That is just what it is. I can't wait till we get rid of her ass. But for some reason, I do not feel like it's going to be this season. But if it is, I would be the first one damn dancing, okay? And basically they say to her, really they more so joking, but of course Burke, her antennas is going to fly up, oh well, Sam is over here saying he know who shot Detective Howard, and she's like, yeah, we already been down that road with you, Sam. He's like, no, for real, I'm serious this time, okay? She was like, before you said it was Lee Lee Harvey Oswald. So he was like, nah, detective, I'm telling you, I was messed up that night, but I remember now, okay? He was like, if you want to hear the real shit, I could tell you everything. And he was like, it was the young boy that did it or whatever, right? And I'm going to tell you like this, you don't want that little nigga out here in these streets because he about to go from being a pup to being a wolf, okay? Real quick, and that's my word. And so, Burke is saying, now you saying that you saw something else, and he's basically like, yeah, it all came back to me. So they was like, yeah, stuff have a way of coming back after you smoke that glass pipe, okay? And so, again, they're not really taking him serious, but any crumb that, Burke can get, of course, she gonna be happy with it and she gonna jump on it. Sam is telling her he can give her all the answers that she needs. So her little wheels is just turning in her daggone, head. You could see it. And she just basically standing there looking at him for a minute or whatever have you, right? Now, in the meantime, we see in the studio, Zeus over here singing, I said, are they trying to make her like she's Miss Mary, hitting on Mary J. Blige a little bit here? Like, no, boo, no, boo, no, boo, no. And so, Cartier is in the studio with, Lou. And I'm like, okay, how long is this going to be going on? Remember, we was hearing the silent partner and all of that. He talking about shift the gears on this one. The last one that she did was more so for the clubs. And this one, we need to have that sexy vibe, for the bedroom. And Lou was just like this, okay? He looking so irritated and agitated when your parent come and bothering you. At the same time, Famous coming, he's saying he need to talk to him. And Lou was like, look, I don't got time to talk to you right now. And he was like, please, this is really important. This is like an emergency. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. At first Lou was telling him that Kanan wasn't there. He was like, I know he's at my house. He was like, but this is kind of urgent. So then he tells Zisa to give him a minute. He like, yo, go ahead, Famous. What is this about? And he was like, I was kind of hoping that we could talk in private. Lou gonna talk about something now. You could talk in front of Cartier. He like family anyway, right? Cartier and Cartier over here saying, So he was like, speak your shit. So, of course, Famous gives him the breakdown of Crown was helping him. Now Crown is gone, and this guy wants the studio time or whatever the case may be because he owes him the rent. If not, he gonna basically be up out of here and on the street. And so Lou told him, we'll figure some shit out. And all of a sudden, Cartier turns around and jumps into the conversation and was like, yo, we can't barter time for your rent, my brother. And he was like, nah, we not talking about barter. We talking about trade. And Cartier was like, barter is trade. Little youngin'. He was like, you give a man a fish and feed him for the day. Basically, you mess him up, you'll end up feeding him for a lifetime. And a lot of people think that comes from the Bible, but it's not. It's actually a quote from Christopher, philosopher, Laal or somebody, right? And so he says this was from like 10,000 years ago that he said it. And he was like, I'm going to give you something way more that you could take back. In the meantime, while he talking, Lou is like this. He's so tired of this man being in the damn studio, okay? And Famous is like, yo, Lou, what the hell? What the hell is he talking about? Like, I'm worried about being in the street. I don't know what this man is talking about right now, right? And Cartier is telling him that he's going to give him this skill set, that will last him for the rest of his days or whatever the case may be. And again, Famous is like, I'm talking about my studio and the landlord. That's it, okay? And so he telling him, there's some bait There's the hook. Cast that shit out in the water. Good luck to you. You know what I'm saying? My young Latin brother. And so he was like, you're about to be a fisherman. And, you know, Famous is just still like, Lou, what the hell? So at this point, Lou does bring up, because he's like, yo, I don't do charity, Lou, and I'm in business with you, so that means you don't either. But Lou was like, okay, what happens to silent partner? You know, what I do on my time should be my daggone time. And Cartier got real cute, you know. He says, well, money talks. So now at the end of the day that he put up that daggone money, you know, he feels like things changed, and then here he go, let's get back to work. Okay, that sounded like a boss talking to an employee. That didn't sound like a partner. So you could see that this is already making Lou blood boil, and he's just like, Z, are you ready? And she says she's been ready. And then they get back to, you know what I'm saying, the fake Mary J. Blige song. And so, you know, moving on from there, we got Juke in the kitchen. She over here washing up the dishes. Rock come and tell her thank you for washing those for her. You know, she didn't get a chance to wash them before she left earlier. She's like, no problem. You know what I'm saying? You welcome. And, you know, she basically lets her know, like, you know, Marvin told me what went down with your mom. I'm sorry about that, right? I'm surprised that's all she had to say, and she ain't pull up on Kenya, but maybe that still could be coming up, okay? Because to me, in my opinion, Kenya got off easy, and so did that daggone pastor. But at the end of the day, you know, you know, basically Juke was saying she don't know what the heck she was doing and why she had went looking for her in the first place. And Rock was like, because you wanted to be loved, okay? We all want to be loved at the end of the day. She was like, you know, and people can change. I was surprised to hear that from you know, Rock. She says we can want better and we can do better. And she then started to ask if she's seen Kanan at all. She was like, yeah, I saw him for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He was over at Fame's house. So, you know, that's all she pretty much said. So Rock started laughing and was like, you know, one thing about Juke, she is not going to betray anybody's confidence. She was like, that's why we all love you so much. I said, yeah, okay, Rock, we see you coming with your game. She was like, one thing we know is that you ain't going to tell nobody shit. You hold it down or whatever. So she comes over by the sink where she's at, and she gives him a hug, and she says, you know, Kanan and her been through a lot, and she feels like she's reaching something that she just can't kind of get to right now. And it hurts. She was like, you know, everything I've done for him. Her usual thing, she says, right? And she was like, I don't care what nobody say. It's real easy to judge from the outside. You know, somebody would look at it and point out where I'm fucking up at or whatever. But if you're not in it and you're not the one that's doing it when it comes down to life and death decisions for your child, it's easy for you, you know what I'm saying, to have an opinion. But sometimes you alone, you gotta know where to turn. You don't, you know, do what you think is right, right? And you're gonna do whatever you can to protect your child, and that means risking everything. And so she was like, you know, this ain't a short game or whatever the case may be. We ain't playing for tomorrow, next week, or next month. We basically paying, you know, for making calls for today, and that's going to be hitting hard 20 years from now. And short-term loss can be a long-term goal. And so she was like, that's the hustle, that's the work. You know how Rock is. She really wasn't saying nothing different. And in her mind, she really believes all of this, you know. And then she says to Juke, I'm sorry. And she was like, did any of that make sense? And Juke was like, it does. And she was like, well, good, because sometimes it don't make sense to me. And so I don't agree with everything that Rock does, especially, okay, sending freaking Kanan to try to shoot his damn father, who just so happens to be a cop. But I do think deep down inside, she really does think she's doing the things to benefit daggone Kanan, right? That's just how her freaking mind works. And I also think that she's very manipulative and she's a liar. Like, two things could be true at the same time. And she also does things that's just going to basically benefit her. And so, you know, at this point, we see him, Marvin, washing his hands, and we find out that, you know, Kanan's standing behind him, and he's actually at this mosque. He over here saying his prayers. You know, Kanan says, I didn't even know you was Muslim. He's like, well, actually, I fell off for a minute, but I'm trying to get back into it, right? I'm trying to kind of find my place with God and make amends and do things right and do things differently, right? So we're kind of hearing the similar things from him in a way as we are from Marvin. They don't want to be the same people that they were, you know what I'm saying, before. And so, you know, I like the conversation that they was having because, as they walked outside, he was saying to Kanan, like, I don't want to push up too much on you or whatever, right? And he was asking him, like, what's going on with you and your mom? What's that situation looking like right now? And Kanan just basically was like, well, right now it is pretty much not too hot. It's really nothing. I can't really call it right. I've been staying at a friend's crib. And so he was just letting him know, like, listen, I can't tell you what to do, and I really don't know what to say. All of this is still new to me. He was like, on the one hand, this is uncharted waters, and I don't want to overstep, but I also don't want to play you left either. I want to keep it real with you, and I want us to be able to have real conversations. So if you got something to say to me, say it. And Kanan was just basically letting him know, like, listen, I know you my father. I always knew you was my father. I didn't need a damn test to tell me. I said, oh, okay, Kanan, so you actually was smarter than we thought, child, because I thought you was still confused about it. But he was like, I didn't need that test to confirm nothing for me. He was like, just knowing all of this don't make no sense either. At the same time, he was like, because he had started cursing, and he was like, should I be cursing? Should I not curse out here? And he was like, yeah, well, maybe it's best if you don't, since I'm trying to get back on the last good foot, okay? And so he basically, they laughed about that or whatever. But at the end of the day, he was like, what he's saying is that things change between him and now with him and Howard now with him knowing this, but it also changes things with him and Rock. He don't know how to look at her. He don't know what to believe where she's concerned. And he was like, does she always know you as my father? So Howard was like, I can't tell you. I really don't know if she knew or not, right? And he was like, I'm not going to speak on your moms or whatever, or for your moms. And that's not, fair to her or you. And I respect him saying that. And Kanan was like, unfair to her? Are you serious right now? He was like, you still worried about, something being unfair to her after what she did that night in the park? And Howard told him, don't ever bring that up. I don't want to talk about it. I never want to talk about that. Ever. That's a dead issue. That already happened. That's in the past. It's done. We are looking to the future and what we could do from this moment forward. We are focused on where we going. I liked that a lot. I really did. Howard ain't my favorite person, but I got to give respect where respect is due, and I like how he handling this situation. So he says, let him go ahead and drive him to the train. Now, we got Sam still yelling to the top of his lungs that he know who did this. Y'all playing games. I'm trying to help y'all out. Y'all could have it real good right now and be able to say y'all brought this killer in here. Get me out of here. And Bert comes and was like, look, I got to check something first. Just give me a second and I will get you out. Now, when Burke is like, so who is this that you're saying did this? What information can you give me? Because so far I don't hear you saying nothing. He's like, yo, I don't know him by his name, but he just was out here with Howard the other damn day. And he's always with that light-skinned kid named Famous. And she like, wait a minute, Famous? And he's like, yeah, Famous. I don't know why they calling him Famous, because nobody don't know him, okay? I sure as hell don't. And so I was just like, oh, Lord, and then he gonna say to Bert, Kadumbo. That shit was funny, okay? I might call her that from now on, Kadumbo. And so she basically was like, wait a minute, that's what you're saying? You're saying Famous? And he was like, yeah, that's what the hell I'm saying. I don't know him, okay? Nobody seems to know him, but they call him Famous. So now she goes and talks, to the captain. In the meantime, one of the other cops, overhears that he's saying that he knows who, shot Howard, and he's looking or whatever, right? Because Burke at first was like, he's jonesing, and that's when she walked past to go ahead and look at, talk to Cap. So now when she going near the Cap, she like, what do you do in a situation where you had a witness come forward and now they saying something different or whatever the case may be, right? And they're changing their testimony. And he says, look, you go with what the evidence says, right? If the new testimony matches the evidence, then that's what you work with. So he was like, what case are we talking about? And she was like, oh, it's just an old, cold case. And so we see that he's over here calling IA after she walked out of the daggone office, y'all, okay? So, we have Rock actually come through for Trayvon. She gets his man up out of this jail, okay? She sent her lawyer just like a lot of us thought. got him off of this. And the lawyer was like, it really wasn't a hard case because it was 4 people in the car. They couldn't pinpoint who the gun belonged to because it was under the back seat. And he was like, just don't be in New York with no, you know what I'm saying, guns under your seat. And so, you know, she's telling him, like, you need to go ahead and get into this business with me. I done showed and proved what I'm about. I done came through and helped you, because he was like, wow, you came and helped me and Cartier didn't. But he tells her, I'm not really ready to sign on the dotted line and say I'm going to go in business with you, right, until I know that Cartier is taken out, and then we could talk. And so, you know, after them and the lawyers finished talking or whatever the case may be, she says, you know, I heard you out. I know your offer. I'll get back to you. And she walks away. And Trayvon basically says to his man, you know, yo, she may have, you know what I'm saying, for some reason I'm feeling like her blood runs colder than Cartier, okay? And he basically was like, and that's truly saying some shit. And I said, baby, you have no idea, okay? And so, you know, then we still got, you know what I'm saying, old Sam in the jail cell, and they actually come and tell him that they got more important criminals, you know, more important cases. They can't have him taking up no space. They are actually letting him out. So now when he's getting out, Burke is like, yo, what are you doing? I still wanted to talk to him. You know, they like, well, that's not my problem. Take it up with the cap, right? And they say they're going to go ahead and release him. And so she was like, well, I'm going to walk you out. And that's when she walks him outside and is saying, you know, I still wanted to talk to you. He was like, nah, I'll hold that for another time just in case when I get in trouble again, all right? And she was like, well, where can I find you? And he basically was like, you know, crack spot, you know, dope spot, smoke spot, mope spot, okay? I get around. I'm everywhere, okay? Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Now, you know what I'm saying. He just said crack spot, dope spot, mope spot, right? And in the meantime, Howard comes up and the cop tells him, like, yo, Burke is, you know what I'm saying, talking to Sam because apparently he knows who shot you. He like, what? But he said some bullcrap. The last time we already ruled that out. And he's like, yeah, but now apparently he's saying that he remember some other stuff. So he was like, but anyway, you know Burke is a damn idiot, right? She's over here chasing behind, you know, a crackhead for information. And of course, Howard is in the cut watching her and Sam talking, trying to hear, you know what I'm saying, what she's saying to him. So we get Marvin and Juke in the diner, and I really, really, really did love this scene, you know, and seeing Marvin and Juke together. They sitting here eating, you know, Juke is asking him how's the funeral. He's like, I mean, it was a funeral, you know, people were sad and shit. They was crying or whatever, crying over shit that they can't change. And she was like, well, you cry? And he said, well, I don't know, you know, I had on my sunglasses and shit. So she was like, well, I've seen you cry one time before, and you do know that there's nothing wrong with crying, right? And so he basically was telling her, like, he thought if he did something good, it would balance out all the bad shit that he been doing, right? He was like, he know he's a messed up person. He knows he's done really messed up shit and really bad shit. And, you know, when it's all said and done, excuse me, like, you know, bad things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people, right? And he was like, I know that I screwed up or whatever the case may be. And so he just was like, so I wanted to say I'm so sorry. And I was like, oh, that touched me. That touched my spirit. Okay, finally, Marvin just came out and said, I'm sorry. And I know that was a big step for him. That took a lot for him to say that. You know what I mean? He was already trying to say it with some of the actions and the work that he's been putting in. But it was very hard for him to actually get those words out. And I know that he definitely, you know, meant it. And he just told her that he was sorry for all the shit he did and all the shit he didn't do. I said, wow. And he was like, you know, I'm really trying to be good now. I'm trying to make that change. Okay, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. All right. And, you know, he was saying that he want to do good for everyone or whatever the case may be. And she just told him, like, listen, Dad, okay, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you can't do good for me or anybody else, okay, until you do good for you. And that's facts on facts on facts. So I really loved that conversation. And he was like, I'm working on that, girl. I'm working on me. So now we get Rock at Cartier place. He over here trying to come up on Rock and kiss her. She was like, slow down. Like, no, 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 boo. Cartier, she don't want you. She don't want you. So he was like, God damn, Rock, what is it, baby? He was like, you already know what it is, what it do, what I'm trying to do, and who I am. You know what is going on. And he said he not a man that's going to be waiting. She said, it's not about waiting. Okay, let's get that freaking correct first and foremost. It's about when I'm ready. But Rock knows she ain't never going to be ready for that, okay? So he says, I have a proposal for you. You know, I want to go ahead and invest into your business. I want to buy into your operation. I want a 50% stake in your organization. You know, we can really get down. I can guarantee your package. I can help fund your expansion into your other markets. You know, I will assist you into moving your profits and all that good stuff into a legitimate business, lady, okay? And she was like, okay, so you going to do all of that because you want to sleep with me? And he started laughing and was like, no, boo, okay? It's not to sleep for you. I don't pay for that. I never pay for that. Never, ever, ever, ever. So she was like, well, I thought you said the competition was too competitive up here. It was too much stuff going down. You didn't want no parts of it or whatever the case may be. The margins was too thin. He was like, well, now I'm focusing on more on market share. I said, please, Fareed, calm your behind down. You ain't focusing on nothing but trying to get over on Rock and take all they damn businesses. You know, he talking about he looking at the economic scale. And so he could definitely drive a deal with our friends in South America, and he might be able to control revenue, you know what I'm saying, and get it on and popping or whatever. We control everything at our own course, and we could drive down, you know what I'm saying, the mine down. And so Rock just smiling and shaking her head. She like, you full of surprises, huh? He was like, you know what it is, boo. Okay, you know what it do. You know what it do. And he was like, I know what I want. And so she's like, just looking around or whatever the case may be and looking at him like, yeah, we'll see, right? I see you. And so we got Unique and Sal. They finally having this conversation. He was like, listen, we got to know what the heck is going on. This is not a fair trade at all. You know, losing a child like that. And he was like, I was willing to compromise. You know, I didn't even want to cause her any pain. And I was trying to be, you know, on the straight and narrow with it. But she playing games. And Unique was like, look, I got no love lost, you know what I'm saying, for Marvin Thomas, all right? But at the end of the day, you know, he didn't take shots at your son or whatever the case may be, right? They had a business and deal and it went bad. And Marco messed up at the end of the day, with all due respect, Sal. He was like, you know, it's hard and all of that. But that's not Marvin's fault. And he was like, well, he went around me too, Marco. And he was like, yeah, but Marco didn't have to take the deal. He still made the choice to get in with him. And he made the choice to go down there. That's all I'm saying. And he was like, well, my son vouched for you. He was like, yeah, and I appreciated that. He was like, you know, we was treating you like a friend and putting you up and all of that. And he was like, you know, I need you to tell me what's going on with Rock's, you know, organization, where her soldiers is, where her firepower is. You got that? I need to where they work, you know, where they working from. I need everything from top to bottom. And, you know, Unique told him, listen, you and Rock shit is you and Rock shit. I can't get in between that. What that got to do with me? And he was like, oh, well, it has something to do with you when you wanted my help to squeeze her in Newark or whatever the case may be. And when you wanted me to hit her trucks, he was like, let me tell you something. That was business, okay? Unique says that was business and you got paid in full for that, all right? But stepping into a beef with you and her, what the hell does that have to do with me? What does that get me? What do I get for that? You know, Sal talking about that's gratitude and that's priceless. Unique ain't getting your damn gratitude, Sal. So Unique told him, like, look, man, you know, if I dime Rock out, that makes me a snitch. And I ain't no damn snitch. I don't get down like that, okay? And so, you know, and I ain't going out like that. And so Sal talking about no one's ever going to know. And Unique said, I'll know. And he was like, yo, you really disappointing me. You know, that's what Sal told Unique. You disappoint me, Unique. And I don't like being disappointed. I don't handle being disappointed well. I said, well, you just going to have to be disappointed, Sal, okay? And Unique, you a real one. You know, they telling Sal telling him they'll show him to his car. I said, he don't need no help to get to his car. He know where the hell is at with his fine ass, okay? Looking good, rocking them damn outfits, all right? So anyway, you know, we get famous and damn Kanan, right? They out here at this damn diner talking, you know, Famous. I mean, Kanan telling Famous he got a couple bucks for him. He was like, I appreciate that, but right now I'm really in the hole. I'm gonna need a little bit more than a couple of bucks. And Freddie is coming in to pick up these 3 pies, and he sees them, and Kanan like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? You see us, what? What you gonna say? What you gonna do? You don't want none of this. And so Freddie just turns back around, gets his 3 pies, and walks out. And Famous was like, you know, how the hell a damn grimy behind dude like Freddie out here living better than me? You know, I'm over here barely could get one slice, and he walking out with 3 pies. But you know, Kanan was like, nah, you don't want to be like him or right, and into the things that he's into. And Famous basically was like, no doubt. Ciao. So, you know, we move along and we seeing Burke and her lady laid up. She's still over here trying to talk her damn lady, you know, head off after guess giving her some damn head. Getting right to the next move with damn Howard. And she's like, it is no next move. She talking about, you know, you're going to mess around and be having a lot of these people mad at you. What are you trying to prove at the end of the day? You know, you ain't got to prove to nobody else no more that you belong. And she was like, oh, well, yes, I do. You know, because of my family and because of me wanting to be a cop, good cop. She was like, you are still a good cop. She was like, you know, you need to stop this and leave it alone. You are real police, baby. And so she was like, well, something doesn't feel right. Something with the whole Howard situation feels wrong. And, you know, I don't want to get caught up in no bullshit. And she was like, look, any chance we could stop talking about Howard? Like, damn, that's all we focus on. I want us to focus on us instead. And, you know, Burke talking about who's Howard, but we all know she's still thinking about him. So then we get Lou and Marvin at the table talking. Marvin was just thanking Lou, like, for being there for him. And he was like, man, listen, anybody trying to drop my brother, okay, I'm taking shots at them, period. They taking shots at my brother. I'm taking shots at them. I was like, I know that's right. You know, he was like, I got your back always. And, they just was like word up and giving each other pounds or whatever. So then Rock comes sit down and she basically was asking Lou, are you in or you out? You know, I need you all the way in if you're going to be in, because shit getting real crazy. I can't have you here part-time. Lou was like, I'm here. So she basically starts saying, like, you know, do you have any word on who took Crown now? I said, wait, she don't know that it was Lou. He talking about it could have been anyone because he owed a lot of people. So then she starts saying she got people coming in from Syracuse and these different places to back them up. And they was like, look, you know, Lou said, I'm down and everything, but we got to be realistic. We cannot take out no mob. She said, we ain't got to take them out. We just got to make them bleed. And we got to show, like, the bigger ones, because she was like, they ain't no real mob. They basically bench warmers, right? They got to answer to bosses in New York. And if the bosses in New York see that they messing up and shit getting crazy and out of control, you know, and they ain't got no handle on it, then that's going to make them basically look bad, right? And so that's basically what we got to show, because the big dogs is here in New York, and, you know, those ones in Jersey ain't got no heart. So if New York finds out Sal Boselli is over here getting played, you know, by some black people from, you know, Queens, they going to have to basically answer to them. So she also tells, you know, Marvin, we need to cash out that crackhead, you know, MF Sam. And he was like, you know, she said, I know you've been a little, you know, going through it. So are you down? Can you handle that right now? And he says, yeah, you know, the Italians is driving past Rock House and they see she got security outside. So now Marvin supposed to be handling Sam. And, you know, we got Famous jumping up like he thinking Kanan in the house sleep. He done went and knocked on damn Corinne's door and basically asking her for her gun, her mom's gun. And she's like, what the hell you want the gun for? You know, he over here throwing it in her face that he know about her mom sleeping with damn Kanan. And he's like, yo, why you want to protect her? Why you care about her damn gun or whatever the case may be anyway after she messed you over? You know what I'm saying? F her. So she go and give it to him and was like, yo, if anything happens with this, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to blame it on you. And he was like, I'm going to get this back to you in a couple days. I said, Famous, what the hell are you going over there to get the damn gun for? I'm confused. So next thing you freaking know, y'all, we got Nicole's daddy having this meeting, and he got freaking, Laverne there, aka Juke, okay? And she's like, yo, I thought you was bringing me here just because you wanted to talk to me about Nicole. He got a whole nother detective there that's basically from Internal Affairs that wants to investigate into the fact of what Howard told him about, Burke and what she did, and that she's trying to not only mess with Nicole, but mess with her too, and that she basically is the one that gave the Nicole the drugs. And basically, of course, Juke was like, look, I don't freaking talk to cops, and I don't talk to cops about cops. She was like, I came out of respect for you because I thought you just wanted me to talk to you about Nicole, but I ain't with this. And she leaves. Nicole's dad is basically telling the detective, like, give her time. She's scared. She don't trust the police. I can't divulge who I got this information from or whatever the case may be. I told them that I wouldn't, but I'm pretty sure that she's gonna come around and she'll be willing to talk, right? I said, I don't know all about that. Okay, now we see Marvin. He's rolling up on Sam. He tells Sam he need a favor. Sam is like, what's that? And here go Marvin opening up his hand, got a whole bunch of rocks in it. Like, Sam told him that's the magic word, okay? You know what I'm saying? And he told him he was paying in jumbo. So he was like, listen, that's an offer I can't refuse. He hopped in the car with Marvin or whatever, right? And he was like, I'm going to smoke that on the way. And so we see freaking Famous running up on Dan Freddy. He got this mask on, but we still see all of this part of you, Famous. So we know that it is you. We know that it is you. He over here pointing up the gun, telling Freddy, like, yo, open the door, get back in the house, give me all the money you got. And Freddy is dying laughing. And he like, Famous, I know that's you. You ain't gonna do shit, Famous. He was like, I can see you, and we pretty much know your damn voice too. Bitch ass voice. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? So he was like, you starting something that you basically can't finish. And Famous is like, just open up the door. Now Freddy got a gun on him, okay? After what happened to him the last time, he walking around with a damn gun, and he like, that shit ain't happening. So at this point, of course, he already got his hand on the damn gun. Famous can't let him shoot him. So the next thing you know, when he freaking went to touch his gun, Famous was like, pop, 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 okay? So now Famous got a body. Famous done put a body in the streets, okay? And, Freddy dead, all right? So Famous go running off, and we see the neighbor cracking that door. And, of course, I'm pretty sure that he heard Dan Freddy calling Famous name over and over and over. So we got Juke having this conversation with Kanan. They look like they was walking around like a mall, arcade area, whatever the case may be. And, they just talking about Rock. He finally letting her know everything that he know with Howard. And she was like, well, shit, she had to be real young back then, too. She had to be about 16, which means he was 20-something. And he was like, yeah, that sounds about right. And she was like, oh, isn't that familiar to you and Miss Palomore? Of course, he was trying to say that it was a difference, you know what I'm saying? But she was like, I don't see none, And she was like, well, you still don't know everything. He probably stepped to her, and you know what I'm saying? There's other stuff that you don't know about. And she was like, that's some shit or whatever the case may be. And then, he was like, speaking of fathers or whatever, because she was like, at least you got a father now. He was like, sometimes that's not all cracked up to be. And she was like, well, actually, I have to say that, Marvin been stepping up. He doing better, and he trying to make changes or whatever the case may be, right? But Kanan says, I doubt I would ever see a change in my damn mother. And that I have to freaking agree with him on, okay? And so he was like, what am I supposed to say to her? Oh, my, remember when you had me spend the block to go shoot my damn dad or whatever the case may be? So I said, yeah, that's true. Excuse me. So, Drew couldn't really say nothing when he said that, he couldn't see no change coming from Rock. So now Burke is trying to go all around to these different spots and look for damn Sam. This crackhead, like, I ain't seen nothing. She was like, well, he told me I could find him. And she was like, well, then find him, bitch, okay? Get the hell up out of here. Now, at the same time, we see Marvin put him on this damn bus. I said, Marvin, I get you trying to change. I get you trying to be nice. But this is the wrong time, buddy, okay? This is not the time for this. And this is not the situation for this. This is going to come back to bite you on your ass. And you don't need nothing else biting you on your ass, Marvin. So he says, you know, to Sam that he trying to be a different dude. He trying to do the right thing. He letting him go. He was like, people want you. He was like, I don't know why, but I know if you come back, then I'm going to have to do what I got to do. Do you understand? He basically puts a wad of money in his hand and was like, I know it's not good, you know, to give a damn crackhead money. He put him on this bus. He like, try to change your life, try to make good, try to stay away, do what you got to do. You know, I'm over here giving a dope fiend damn cash, but he was like, I'm praying you understanding what I'm saying and you go somewhere and fix yourself up. Sam talking about, yeah, I'm going to be a better man. You know, Marvin telling him it's never too late. Child, that bus didn't even make it down the damn block before Sam ass was telling the damn bus driver to stop the bus and got right back off of it, all right? So now we seeing Mr. Cartier. He coming back home, I guess, from some type of trip or a day out or whatever the heck it was. And he walking through saying hi to the doorman, and he go get on the, you know, get in the elevator, and basically the doorman end up saying he on his way up. And we hearing, you know, grown Kanan say it don't matter if you a CEO, a baller, a rapper, you a sling, you know what I'm saying? You basically ain't gonna be the best for long, right? It's always somebody else that's coming for the crown. It's always somebody younger that's that runner up or whatever. You could tell yourself that you always gonna be there, but you know that it ain't nobody better than you and all of that different kind of stuff, but it's always somebody else stepping up in the line, all right? And so we see Cartier getting in the elevator and, you know, pressing penthouse or whatever, and they say, you know, Kanan says it's always going to be somebody younger, faster, tougher, right? That's coming up for you. And so the doorman call her saying he coming up or whatever, and Cartier over here smoking his damn, you know, cigar or whatever, right? And we we see that he gets to the top, and you know, we hear Kanan say, see that crown thing, and you know, once you wearing it, you ain't hungry as you used to be no more, right? You lose that daggone hunger. But that next person coming up, they hungry as hell, and they trying to take that damn crown at the end of the day. And so once you know what I'm saying, get to that spot or whatever the case may be, you got to be paying attention and looking out, because you starting to feel safe, comfortable, you know, and satisfied. So when the doors open, who's standing there but Rock and freaking Lou like this, ready for you? You know, Cartier talking about some, y'all two don't even trust each other. Rock said, yeah, but we family. And both of them just, you know what I'm saying, because he over here smoking his cigar. He was like, bitch, fuck you and your family. And both of them just start letting off in that ass, popping that ass with lead, okay? And so Rock came up, you know, and we hear Kanan say, how that shit go? You done falling down and you can't get up, nigga. And if y'all too young, y'all don't know that damn commercial that had everybody saying that. I'm falling and I can't get up. So she busts some more at him while he laying down on the damn ground. And then, you know, she stepped back or whatever the case may be, and we hear Kanan saying, when you fall from the spot, you know what I'm saying, you down or whatever, you down for good. And then, you know, Lou go ahead and bust another shot too, you know, and they walk off together. So that's what it is, y'all. That's what it is. That was the episode. Good episode. Can't wait to see what this freaking season finale is going to be. What do y'all think? What is y'all predictions? Let's discuss. Okay. Put it in the comments. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you were so inclined. Give me a wave. Let me know you came by and put some flames in the sky. All right, y'all.